Welcome home to Eden. I've been doing my wild dancing to keep myself alive. Keep yourself alive, baby. So today, let's talk about ladies first. Ladies first for the modern man, and what the heck that's about now. Well, the best way to explain it to you is through the example of three men I watched this month who don't do ladies first. They do ladies last. And sorry, I'm just a mess. I'm just all sweaty. They do ladies last because they think that's the way to be empowered, to be equal with women. So one of them, what he does is when it comes to his rent, he puts his landlady last. So he'll do his other bills before her. And when it comes to his girlfriend, he says when she wants romantic things, he says, I don't do romance. I just don't do that. That's not my kind of thing. I don't do flowers. I don't expect that from me. And when it comes to his boss and she says, hey, I need you to stay for the whole meeting. I want you to finish getting a training. He says, I don't need your training anymore. I'm done. I'm fine. I'm going to take care of myself. So this goes on. He keeps putting ladies last. And eventually what happens in not too much time is basically his landlady's evicting him. His girlfriend is in constant distress with him. He's feeling like she's shouting or bullying him, but he's really shouting and bullying at her all the time. And his boss no longer wants him on the team. So he's lost all the support of all the women around him because he's so busy taking care of number one. Nowadays, you have more than just your lover and your mother and your daughters, in your lives that have huge influence over your day. You've got your bosses. You've got your landladies. Women have come into power. And we can feel it when a man has no respect for us and no response to us and puts us last. We're at a place now where we're polite for a little while, we give the benefit of doubt, but we're so used to guys doing this and taking their prerogative and not caring about us that we don't have endless patience anymore. We just see right through it. We can see where the guy he's not worth our time. He's not worth our devotion or our friendship or anything. So that guy's life is falling apart, and what he feels like is a victim. He's like, all the women are turning on me and they're all bitches but all the women know that he's somebody who won't even do the basics of respect he would do with other men. Okay, so now we get to number two guy, guy who made 5 appointments with me to fix my car, and each time didn't show up. And so I started confirming with him. So this time, are you going to show up? Did I have a time right? And then finally he said, oh, I'm coming for sure tomorrow. And he doesn't show. I waited. I lost work. And I finally see him. I say, that felt so bad. I just don't understand. You live right across the street. Why didn't you come over and cancel? Or call me and cancel? That wasted so much of my life. It felt so bad. Now he says, I don't like how you're talking to me. The way you're talking to me is just wrong. So this strategy that the guys have, where making the woman wrong when she calls their bullshit, when she calls you out on your ego trip, is such a bad strategy, because the women nowadays, we used to fall for it and go, oh yeah, something wrong with me. I asked him wrong. I confronted him instead of just telling him my needs, and I shouldn't have said, now we know that we're not doing anything but giving endless rope, way too much rope to the guys. And so eventually they just hang themselves with it because they're just so self-centered. So if you got this thing going on where you think you're a victim to all the women, you're kicking me when I'm down, that's what his thing was. You can see I'm down, or I would have showed up. And I'm like, well, I'm not, all I want is a cancellation, and just don't take it out on me. What's going out in your life? So this is the thing, taking out your frustration in life or about other women on the good women around you who are, or even just the regular women who aren't that good, but they're the ones who your life depends on. Ladies first will help your whole life run well. Because the thing is, if you put a guy first, he may or may not do much with that. It'll feed his ego. He'll be like, okay, I'll deal with that person. But if you put a lady first, she gets you at the top of her list. She's so grateful. She's so enamored of your politeness. She will spread the word. She will help you again and again. She will smile at you and feed you cookies and milk just for delivering the mail. I mean, here's the same guy who wouldn't cancel his appointment on me. He walks down the street, back and forth on the street, walking his little dog. And I meet an old lady down there who I'm trying to do solar for, and she says, "Who's that guy?" I said, "Oh, it's just our neighbor, blah, blah, blah." She says, "Well, he walks by here every day. I wave to him and smile at him, and he just looks away and refuses to wave or smile back." So with the elder lady, he's thinking, "I don't have to bother. What do I got? I don't have to do this." He's taking out his hostility on this elder lady in her 80s. If he were to smile at her and say hello and give her a little sunshine, she would be the one who would take care of his dog when he went on vacation. I mean, this is the way women are. The littlest kindness. You put ladies first, and they put you like on a ridiculous pedestal, which we shouldn't do, but we can't help it because we love kindness. We value connection. We value friendship. Third guy, he's comes in like a ram with a new girlfriend, and she's like, "I cannot do sex with you. It's violent and painful, and you're not connecting with my heart, and I really can't do this." And then he goes to his heart space, and he's like, "Oh shit, like I'm gonna lose this wonderful woman." So he says, "Show me, teach me," and she does. And he does what she asks. And he becomes like her hottest lover ever. She's totally in love with him. And she's like, "This is, you responded to me. You grew. I am so impressed with you." But the next thing we know, the guy goes right back to what he was doing. And then when she says, "How could you do this to me now after I've showed you what I needed emotionally and physically, and you did it, and now you go right back to that violent thing? Like, how that's not... I can't even tell you how hurt and betrayed I feel." Now he's like, "It's the way you're talking to me. It's just not working for me. You've got problems and you need to go to therapy," right? When you turn it on us, when you turn our honesty back on ourselves because you don't want to hear, because you're wrong, this is a real tragedy, because what ladies first means is it actually means your heart first. That's what ladies first means. You're going with your heart first. And what ladies last means is your ego first. Your ego is running the show when you put ladies last, because the ego doesn't see anything but what it's getting and who's giving more to me, and but the heart knows, "Oh, actually, I've been getting a huge amount. What am I giving? What can I possibly give back for all that I've been given?" So ladies first, even the little chivalrous things like opening doors that seem old-fashioned, even like pulling out a chair or taking her coat for her, it shows an awareness of her body in space, her existence in your time and place. And when she feels your attention turn towards her, with her at the top for that moment, now she's in present time with you. She can open up like a flower. She can tell you her truth that might be painful to your ego, but it will be of great value to your heart. Great, great value. So put the ladies first, okay? Put ladies first in as many ways as you can. Pay your rent on time. Or you know what? If you don't have your rent for your landlady, call her. Tell her you're so sorry. Call her in advance. Tell her your timetable, that she's the top of your list as soon as you get your pay, and do make it her the top when you get your pay, because her protection of you is bigger than just monetary. The women look out for you spiritually. They look out for your heart. And this is why it's so tragic when a guy goes into, "You're lambasting me, you're beating me up, you're the abuser, I'm the victim." When he does that, when women call him on his bullshit, like the guy who, with his boss is like, I don't have to come to that meeting, and how come you're not giving me top priority and giving me more attention like you should, like you're giving the others, but I'm not going to respond to what you ask. What she gets is a bully, really. He's being a bully to her, and then he's all victim about it. "But you're not taking care of me." So we have to all of us, really, we all need to check out what is our stance when we're freaked out, when our survival feels on the line. What do? Do we become introverted and sulking and depressed? Do we become bullies and intimidate people? Do we become very, very subservient and dishonest? Like, if we can just see what our tactic is when we're in survival mode, and then go towards the opposite. I wrote down a couple of the opposites I was thinking about. I was thinking like, okay, so if you're exploding, you can go to introspection and look at yourself. If you're going to fully into depression, you can take action. Instead of going into non-action depression, you just do something about what you're upset about. If you're swearing and putting other people's down, you could actually start complimenting them. If you're feeling victimized, you can start saying that you're sorry. And if you're bullying and intimidating, you can start listening with no non-reactivity. Oh, ladies first actually integrates all of that, because when ladies come first, they speak out and they speak up and they actually let you in and they become more intimate and real. And then you have to hear this stuff, which is why you don't want to put them first, why you don't want to make that time, because you're afraid of hearing. The ego is afraid of hearing. But darling, your heart is not afraid. Your heart is ready for everything that it takes to make a great life with your woman, with women, all the women around you. And remember that when you put ladies first, they will just pay for your chariot. They'll create a chariot for you of their appreciation and their good words, and their creating a reputation for you of a man worth serving, a man worth serving, because when we feel served, it's so funny, when we feel served, we serve the men so much more than they serve us, but it's just what opens our hearts, it's what happens in sexuality too, that I'm about to make a video about that there is such a thing as cock worship. But the cock worship is not because the cock is so big or so beautifully shaped or so hard. No, it's because the man whose cock it is has actually put the lady first. And her heart opens and her gratitude opens, and then she's just like, oh my God, I worship this guy. And it's a natural outpouring of her total visceral and spiritual gratitude. So open that flower, bloom her rose. I'm going to play you my song, Bloom Her Rose, soon. Okay.